Oh, we're going into an interesting place today. This will be where the big shootout, John Tornow, or a lot of people knew him as Wildman of the Wynoochee. This is where he met his demise. So, legend has it, he was gutting a cow. I don't know if it was on his property or somebody else's property, and shots went over his head. And he returned fire. Of course, back then, everybody was armed. And it was his nephews. Both his nephews were there, and they were both shot and killed. John thought a lot of his nephews, and he thought the only thing he could do was to run at that time. A lot of speculation that maybe the nephews were getting back at him because he had killed a dog years before that, one of the nephews had owned. But anyway, whatever caused that, a lot of speculation going on. Anyway, the manhunt lasted for almost a couple years, and at one point there was an altercation with a couple marshals. He ended up killing a couple federal marshals in a shootout up the Wynoochee. And John, he knew the area. I guess the closest thing to a mountain man. He wasn't a bit shy about going to some of his neighbors, taking what supplies and provisions that he needed to survive out here, along with killing deer and elk. So this is just a little memorial area that they have set up out here. And this little plaque kind of says it all. John Tornow, shootout, friend or foe, we'll never know. Yeah, that's probably true. There, John. That's Tornow Lake. Here's some artifacts that they found close by. I mean, it could have been stuff that John was using. It's really hard to say. More artifacts that they found in this area. Well, here's a picture of John, presumably after the shootout. There were some more pictures around here. Oh, I don't. Well, somebody might have kept them from souvenir. Anyway. And there's a cedar tree back in there. It had bullet holes in it, and they took a metal detector and determined it was actually caused from lead. So whether that possibly could have been from the shootout, it's really hard to tell. Tornow Lake. A beautiful day here today, last day of February, 55, 60 degrees. And the Boyer twins, that was John's nephews. That whether he accidentally shot, I guess we'll never know. Here's a bench, somebody dedicated by Alan R. Knight, Oak class of '83. Okay, we're gonna go to the final resting place of John, which is a few miles away from here. Okay, Grove Cemetery. Up the Satsop area. Off the main road here, Boundary Road. So, it's going to be the final resting place of John Tornow and his nephews. And I imagine he's got some other relatives and whatnot here. Been here a couple times before, but it's been a while. And you see, pretty small cemetery here. But kind of unique the way it's nested out here. Old graves. 44 to 09. Tornow. Probably, I'm assuming that was John's father, John's mother. And here's John's grave. 1880 to 1813. Of course, it's all culminated at the big shootout up the Wynoochee. A lot of speculation what happened there. It's kind of ironic that the Boyer twins buried right behind him. William and John. They died in 1911. I think I explained earlier they were killed by John. A lot of speculation what happened there. Mary Boyer. So I'm assuming this was John's sister. Only facts we know that he really thought a lot of his nephews. I don't think he had purposely hurt them. He knew somebody was shooting at him. He returned fire. Unfortunately, they were both killed. It's really sad. A lot of different unique graves. Like a lot of a German origin. Go back up over here, the Tornows. Really recent one. Child. Oh, sad. Pete Mueller, Virginia. Loner to outcast to fugitive. Well, no doubt about it, he was definitely a fugitive. A lot of people were killed until he finally met his demise. I mean, it's sad it happened the way it did. Anyway, rest in peace, John.